Ayatollah Beheshti didn't want it put in the Constitution, they got it. He said, and Imam Khomeini said it too, that we have to have a system where a president cannot become a dictator. You know, so we have to have a jurisprudence that himself is elected and selected by the people, but he can also be removed. In fact, what I'm saying about the Iranian system is a very sophisticated, good system. Call it, they have more democracy than anybody over there and here too. The functional government, the presidency, and the Majlis is all elected by the people, and they have authority. And you have the religious authority, the religious Majlis, assembly of experts, that looks at the Constitution, like if the legislative body passes laws. They scrutinize those laws that the parliament passed to make sure that they fit within the Islamic framework. That's wonderful. It's like a Supreme Court, like, you know, type of thing. That but the functional government is elected. And the president selects his cabinet and they run the functional government. But the head of the military is al-Faqih. Not technically the president, although he exercises authority. But the supreme, for instance, when they're making these phony little treaties, they will go to the Rahbar and get his permission. But the president can make treaties and do all of that stuff. Over the during the time of the Rahbar, he's had to deal with this question of wilayah, because before they don't have a problem with wilayah and running the state because they don't have one. Then after they get one, what are you going to do with the system of marjas, marja here, marja there? They haven't solved that. Maybe the marja don't want to give up their authority to a state. Will the government or will the people choose a leader of the government that satisfies those people? Like, for instance, the Rahbar was still classified as Hujjatul Islam. Let's say he's got a master's degree and the Ayatollah is a PhD, and we're just showing it. That's not really the way it is. Because if you read some of the writings of the Hujjatul Islams, some of their writings are better than Ayatollah's. But they don't have the credibility, they're not independent. I don't want to get stuck in this jurisprudence. But once you become an Ayatollah and you rise to a certain level, you have independent authority now. You have independent authority. Then when you become a marja, you have written a risala. And people can emulate you. They come to you for everything, for fatwas, for guidance, everything. The same thing if Imam Malik or Imam Abu Hanifa was here. Go to them for all the deep answers. Okay. So what's going on in Iran right now? There's always several groups in any country. Now the group, I don't want to mention Agar Rafsanjani and those type of people. But they were one crew, then some of the others were another crew. When Ahmadinejad come in, those crews that were against each other became friends. Because Ahmadinejad, for my understanding, was bringing revolution back to the forefront. And those power centers didn't like him, but the people loved him. Yeah, he went, once I was there, a year or so ago, 2016. He would go to a town unannounced and there would be 50,000 people come to see him. One town there was 200,000. I was just kidding, God almighty. If he would have ran as president, he would have automatically won. But the Rahbar suggested against it because it would revive the animosities between, it would cause a lot of fitna. You could turn that down if you want to.
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right.
It's wet from the rain.
All right. So the Marja, the people start forming cliques. Okay, I'm going to just go right to the point. Here we have a clique of people here. They're Iranian, Western, educated, loving people, that's the best thing I can call here. They're in the ministry, they made some mistakes. Instead of saying, yeah, we made a mistake on it, they didn't do that. They start this crap. They have the people, you could tell, it's designed fitna. They have their people start this argument about hijab, little nonsensical stuff, to draw people away from what everybody, how the hell they're going to be like this 2 months ago, and now they have these little punk things on hijab. It's designed fitna. It's diversion in proxy wars, like all the wars in the Middle East, proxy wars, diversions. Divert people from the prestige that Iran has gained by making the right decisions on literally everything. They made the right decision. They organized with the right people. They've opposed the right people and they've coddled the right people. In other words, they have made right decisions. They are now the hegemon in the region. It didn't cost them $50 billion or $1 trillion. Saudi Arabia did it for them. The United States did it for them. Donald Trump did it for them. I don't know how many institutes, anti-Iranian institutes they have in America. You probably heard they got this. They're all against Iran. Okay. We're going to get back to something now. Is this new? No. This is from February 9th, 1990 in New York. It was the last time I gave a talk up there at the Imam Ali Center. And I'm saying here, of course we have to solve our own problems. You administrators and diplomats, please never give up your God-given authority. Do not submit to Western diplomacy. Method of compromise for worldly gain is their methodology. These people will humiliate you if you ever compromise. I know these people, you should too. Don't look down or give up on your Muslim sister or brother. it's automatically to send all kind of people around to cause trouble. So they'll lump everybody together. We're saying don't do that. Remember, the world of diplomacy is like a sewer. Even if you washed after the even if you washed, the people near you will know where you work because of the smell. If you work in the sewer, you may take a little to wash yourself off, but you got sewer smell all over you. What I say diplomacy is. And this one I also talked about, it's not in the notes so much, but I talked about, you can look who was president in 1990, and they were calling them certain names that relate to cooperating with the West. And I said Imam Ali wasn't that type of person, and Imam Hussein wasn't, because it's Imam Hussein dated I'm talking about. So Imam Hussein was not a compromiser, you know. And so Dr. Kamal Karazi, we had a heated discussion after that, and everybody was listening. And it was a team that I knew that said, hey man, we didn't know you had it in you. We didn't know you was, they thought just like Abdul Malik and them was when they meet, when something happens to show where you really are, they're surprised. The Iranians thought I was just a Negro speaker for them and doing, you know, their dirty work and motivating them. They said, man, we didn't know you. They was just as happy as they could be. There was another team, you may not know, but I haven't been up there since 1990 to speak. Kamal Karazi was there, Javad Zarif was there as the assistant, everybody was there. So it's always been two teams. Now, the situation with our brothers, you know, they have certain sayings that know your enemy, you know what I mean? Know yourself, know your enemy, 1,000 battles, 1,000 victories. There's other stuff too. And other stuff means not only knowing who you are, but that's a big deal in knowing who you're not too. I give you an example. Downstairs there was bags of potatoes, all that stuff down there. I don't know if you saw it when you walked in. 50-pound bags of potatoes. I think there's another bag of onions. Look like a 50-pound bag. There's another bag of cabbage. Okay. Person brought that by yesterday, maybe. Came by the other day to bring stuff they get from other people. And maybe trying to let me know, well, yeah, I told them when they asked me to get khutbah and told me, I don't do this and I don't do that. They're telling me, and you could see that the government is giving them physical stuff. And it's so childish that it's unbelievable. Because remember, we talked about, it's good to know, I know who I am. Let's just say, no, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about us. I know who I am, but I know who I'm not even. And I'm not one of them niggas. I mean, it's just each one of our own. I know I am not one of them niggas. I am not motivated by what they're gonna give anybody or take away from any or nothing about none of them. It is stupid to come by here after you've seen it in California here. We ain't never went chasing after nobody. When the people 20 years ago want to leave, go ahead. When the people here want to leave, go ahead. When the people want to do something, go ahead. If we see a guy making a junkyard next door, we say, but Fatima, go ahead. You want to make a junkyard? Yeah. Okay. Don't bother with going and looking at the history of people who have kind of not messed with us. But your time, when you mess with them people, you have a bar. They scan you, and they put an expiration date on your behind. All of them. And no matter how famous they are, have anybody seen the Brooklyn Imam around lately? I haven't even seen any flyers, but I'm going to go to Masjid. I haven't seen them on the internet. I haven't seen them much. But they were the most popular people in the world while they was needed. They don't need them anymore. Do you remember we was having a Sunday meeting and an old black nigga just got out of the penitentiary? He used to work out every Sunday over there. I'm a bad nigga and I want to shoot.
Assault on the police.
Yeah, he
He
talking.
got a charge of assault on the police, remember?
Shoot. A lot of people have got assault on the police, that ain't nothing. And then coming here talking about, I want guns, I want to do. I said, man, I don't know nothing about the weapons. You can't come here talking about that. And if you so bad, you can't say no more, go on do this and that, because that's conspiracy. If you that bad, nigga, you know what to do. The next time I see him, you remember the Iranians that was down there at the Palestinian demonstration?
Mm-hmm.
One had the camera and one was a press guy. At one of the Black Lives Matter demonstrations downtown, who does he have with him? He has that Negro. And the Negro that was here for the longest, and now is the love guy with all of the people that hate us. See, if I went to a program with y'all and they say, man, Musa, you can come in, but them niggas can't come, I say, hell, I'm not going in there. We together here. If they can't come in, what the hell I'm gonna do coming in? If you see these people cutting my throat every day, how you gonna be friendly to them? Not little dumb stuff like all them books and Arabic stacked over there. We have to throw them, we have to there was so much junk. All that junk came from them, through him. So, their goal is diversion from what you're doing. Proxy wars are proxy wars in the Middle East, but if you get mad at them Negroes, that's your proxy war. If we followed up with somebody turn the heat off for me. If you got to arguing with Mukhtar and Khadijah and them, that'd be a proxy war. That would be a diversion. We've always been skilled with, in the early years we called it the Lolo concept. Remember that? Lock on and lock out. That means lock on to everything that's of value to you, and anything that's useless and worthless, lock it out. It don't make no difference. Lock on and lock out. That's like staying focused. Now, at the beginning of the revolution, you You got to remember, we done been through the whole mill with black nationalism, gangsterism. We done gained a lot of worldly experience by then. Then we go on finishing up everything in the penitentiary. When we come out and open our masjid, we're clean as a whistle. But the revolution is just taking off. So we don't see that revolution as just an Iranian. We see it as part of what we're all Islamic. We have the same idea for here. Like, see, maybe the Iranians had a certain thing in their mind, or 3 or 4 different. Some was doing, they worked for careerism, like they got a career. A lot of them do, they have a career. And some of them are owned up in the careerism that was here. Some really supported the revolution. And they finished their education, they went back and they make their contribution now. And they had to have a lot of courage to go back because the people here offered them big jobs. You just stay here. And then the brothers know, because they would go back home first for a while, and they would know things were almost in shambles. The war is still going on, or the war is over. They've been here in America. Nobody's going to really trust them. And they shouldn't. They've been over there in America. What are you doing over there anyway? And you want us to trust you? Well, they didn't. It was hard for the brothers that went back. They knew they was going to be. At the same time, we were involved. And we were involved, fi sabilillah, for the cause of Allah. Now you got to imagine how the rebellion here has been dead. People are accepting Islam, and Islam is the revolutionary concept that solves all the problems. But it's under heavy attack. You couldn't see it, you know. After you've been through this fight once or twice, you already know how it goes. So now here was the Iranians with a revolution. They're here in America, and they need somebody to help them. You know what happened here. You see, where's the niggas here that was there with them? They're gone. Didn't somehow